Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are starting to see a pattern. This is a pattern that we've been talking about for the longest time. And just like with Dragon Age the Veilguard and the recent leaving of Corin Bush, the director, and the potential closing down of the Edmonton studio, now we have the same exact thing happening here with Reflector Entertainment. Keep in mind, Warner Brothers suffered the same exact thing with Suicide Squad. So what am I trying to say? Well, quite frankly, when you have all the shills telling you that the game is perfectly fine and is succeeding and everybody's loving it and is buying it up and all this other nonsense. Whenever they come out here and try to tell you that, just let it be known they have a reason to lie to you. They have every reason to try to switch up the narrative that is true and try to get it in their favor. Reflector Entertainment is the company that released Unknown 9 Awakening, which was that absolute garbage that we had the unfortunate, fun to play over on Griffcast when we reviewed it. And now Reflector Entertainment is suffering massive layoffs and canceling future projects. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's pretty clear that everybody expected this, right? Reflector Entertainment is a studio. This was their first ever game. Unknown 9 Awakening was their first ever game, and everybody could look at that game and see, wow, that looks like trash, okay? I don't understand why people were even bothering to try to defend that game when it was pretty damn obvious that it was going to be a massive failure. But of course, you had your Mighty Cucks, you had your Booty Adams, you had all these people coming out and trying to call us grifters because we were hating on the game and that the game is fine, blah, 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 whatever. Well, look at us now. We have Reflector Entertainment suffering massive layoffs, and where are those shills? Nowhere to be found. So let's get into this article, guys. But of course, before we do, if you are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it, and like the video to push us out into that YouTube algorithm. And again, guys, this is why I do not take the shills seriously. They don't play video games, number one. You know who played this game? I did. You know who reviewed this game? I did. You know who played this game to completion so all of you can see it and get the transparency that the gaming industry doesn't want to give you? I did. You know what the shills did? Absolutely fucking nothing. All they did was say how amazing this game was, how much we're grifters, and then they went on their merry way to go shill for the next game. This is why they are a cancer to the gaming industry, but that's besides the point. Now we get the joy of being able to report on this. So Reflector Entertainment suffers layoffs following the failure of Unknown 9 Awakening. The CEO of Unknown 9 Awakening, developer Reflector Entertainment, has revealed that the studio has suffered layoffs following the failure of the title. Speaking on LinkedIn, which, by the way, I want to make it very clear too, if you guys are not looking at LinkedIn, you really should be looking at LinkedIn because they are trauma dumping on LinkedIn and they are trauma dumping on Blue Sky. They are trying to avoid making any announcements about literally anything on X. They don't want to do it, especially now that President Trump is now in office and Elon Musk is part of the cabinet. Like they don't want to talk on X whatsoever, but they have to make these announcements somewhere. They can't just sweep it under the rug. So they're doing it on LinkedIn. A lot of them are talking about this stuff on LinkedIn and they're talking about it on Blue Sky. Speaking on LinkedIn, Herb Horde, I don't know how to say his last name, revealed that the team has canceled a new project that was in the conceptualization phase. He says, today, I informed our teams that I made the decision to not greenlight further work on a future project that was in conceptualization phase and thus terminating this development line. Continuing this project would not have been sustainable for the future of the studio. Regrettable, this also means that there will be redundancies following this decision. So again, they are firing people because number one, the game was a massive failure, so they have to let go of people from there. And number two, they're canceling a brand new project that they had in the works that was going to continue the studio, and thus they are going to fire the people that are related to that project. Not everybody, but probably most of them. I don't know what this studio is going to do. I don't understand how this studio got all that funding only for them to produce a game that lost hundreds of millions of dollars. If this studio does not shutter, I would be highly surprised. It just wouldn't make sense. Who would look at this studio and say, yup, we're going to fund you again for another few hundred millions of dollars so that we can lose our money on your next game? I don't know who would do that, what investor would do that, so I really don't see how this studio is going to continue onward and not shutter its doors. But, you know, apparently they're trying to make it seem as if they are going to have a future. I just don't know how that's even possible. The executive added that the game's cancellation comes down to the failure of the company's ambitious and courageous first project, namely Unknown 9 Awakening. I don't know what was courageous about it at all. Aside from having a female lead, I have no idea what was courageous about it. He added that the game's sales performance didn't come near the company's expectations, and therefore it doesn't warrant any further exploration. I mean, we all tried to tell you. You didn't want to listen. Nobody wanted to listen. You were too busy having interviews with shills, right? You were way too busy having interviews with people who were going to ask you the safe questions, people who were just going to ask you things that were going to make you look good. That's all you were trying to do. You were not trying to listen to criticism. None of you guys wanted to hear anything other than positive news, and this is what happens when you have toxic positivity. You self-implode from within. The shills are not going to support you. They're just not, right? They're too busy looking at you for free review codes. They're too busy looking at you for free swag. They're too busy looking at you to fly them out into free hotels and wine and dine them. They're just parasites. They just want to utilize you for whatever free shit that they can get from you to bolster their resume as a shill and then move along to the next project that they can hopefully, you know, benefit from. But whether or not the project is successful or not means nothing to the shills because they're not going to play it. They're damn sure not going to buy it, and they're not going to support you in any monetary, actual, tangible way. They're not going to do it. Reflector suffered layoffs only recently back in November 2024, which we talked about, with a number of ex-employees taking to social media to reveal they were now looking for work. Unknown 9 Awakening was released in October 2024 and sees players following Haruna, a quester born with the gift to explore the fold, a mysterious dimension. Here, she must learn to master the powers of the fold to battle against a secret society with nefarious plans as she uncovers a quest for hidden knowledge. Again, this game was absolute trash, and I have every right to say that considering that I played the fucking game, okay? From beginning to end, you are a literal girl boss, and I don't mean that just to say that. You are an actual girl boss. You start off extremely powerful, and you end off even more powerful, if that's even a fucking thing to say. This game, you don't have to utilize your skills. You don't have to utilize the skill tree. You don't have to unlock everything because you can go through the entire game from beginning to end with your initial skills because you're that OP. The combat is so simple. It is literally broken. You can abuse it in every way. The game is fucking garbage, okay? Honestly. And even if it was a male character at the end of the day, with that level of OP from beginning to end, it would still be fucking garbage. There is no way that you can sit here and try to say that Unknown 9 Awakening was a good game. And if you are, I gotta tell you, you're probably a shill. You have to be. Or you're set, like you're, I guess what your, what would the word be? What your expectations are for video games are so damn low that you're expecting Unknown, you can say Unknown 9 Awakening is a great game. I don't understand how your expectations are that low. That's actually kind of sad. Or like your standards, I should say, better than expectations. Your standards are that low. So ultimately, Unknown 9 Awakening has caused the death or the soon-to-be death of this studio. I don't see how this studio can stick around. Right now, they're talking about layoffs for a second time, and I feel like it's only a matter of time before we hear about the closure of Reflector Entertainment. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Hope you did enjoy it. If you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.